Flood by Group 3.
Definition: flood. A natural disaster is a disaster caused by an event or series of events caused by a nature. Floods are one of the natural disasters that can be caused by nature and human themselves. Flooding can be defined as a large overflow of water from a body water, thus inundating the surrounding area. The flood disaster became the face of Indonesia in early 2021. One of the most widely discussed is the flood that occurred in South Kalimantan in January 2021. The cause of the flood is widely discussed, but from government agencies, academics to environmental activities, 3 people died reported in the flood disaster with a height of 2 until 3 meters in Banjar Regency, Tanah Lot Regency, Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency, and Tabalang Regency, South Kalimantan. Nearly 4,400 people have been displaced in a disaster that has hit since January 20. Ecological damage is the main cause of the flood disaster.
Factors that cause flooding. 1. Deforestation. Without realizing, deforestation makes the land catchment of water will be greatly reduced and can cause disasters such as floods and even landslides. Water catchment areas are very important as an effort to prevent flood disasters. Therefore, it is our obligation to maintain the preservation of our forests and not cause deforested forests that can cause flooding. 2. Garbage. The cause that we often do not realize is the habit of throwing garbage out of place. Garbage that is thrown carelessly, for example, in the river, will be able to cause the flow of water blocked, and as a result, the river water will overflow. This becomes a trigger for flooding that can harm the community or cause property losses and fatalities. 3. Settlements in riverbank. Another cause is the lack of population settlement in the riverbank area. The negative side that can arise as a result of this is that it can make river siltation, especially if coupled with the habit of throwing garbage directly into the river. In addition, the state of the soil around the site of the building can be subsided and can close the site of the river. This causes narrowing of the river flow and prone to flooding.
4. Living in a water catchment area. Again, this is due to the human indifference that is usually in urban areas. Most water catchment areas are converted into human settlements. As a result, the water catchment area will be less and increase the potential for flooding higher at the coming rainy season.
5. Overflowing river. Rivers or creeks can overflow on their banks. It occurs when a river holds more water upstream than usual and flows downstream into adjacent low-flying area, commonly referred to as a floodplain. As a result, this causes a sudden discharge of water into adjacent soil, causing flooding.
Melting glaciers and mountain peaks. In cold areas, ice and snow accumulate during the winter. When temperatures rise in the summer, accumulated snow and ice are subject to melting, which results in a large transfer of water to normally dry soil. Areas with mountains that have ice on them also experience similar results when atmospheric temperatures rise. This type of flood is usually called a snowmelt flood.
Impact of flooding. Natural disaster of floods, both in the form of puddles and flash faults, are destructive. The flow of water currents that are not too deep but fast and turbulent can wash away humans, animals, plants, even buildings and vehicles. The impact is damage to facilities and infrastructure, crippling transportation, environmental pollution. Floods also bring a wide variety of diseases such as diarrhea, typhoid fever, and leptospirosis.
Therefore, as a smart society, let's try to overcome it. Here's how to deal with flooding. Make sure the sewer or river in the neighborhood of the house is clean. If there is still a lot of garbage, make a gathering to clean the sewer because it is for mutual comfort. The amount of deforestation is also one of the reasons. Reforestation of plants can help prevent flooding because it can help with the rapid absorption of water. The third is avoid building houses around the river because it can make the river land narrow and make garbage fall into the river. Stop littering, such as into rivers or thyme, as it can be the cause of the river overflowing. Create an embankment in the river to minimize the overflow of water.